Welcome to Voices of Rise, the podcast that shines a spotlight on the women who are leading the future and shaping real change. These are honest conversations about leadership, resilience, and what it truly takes to rise. Get ready for powerful insight, bold perspectives, and voices you need to hear. Women who aren't just talking about change, but making a dent in the universe. Welcome to the podcast, Natalie.
Thank you, finally.
So is this your first time at Rise?
It is, yes.
Yeah, what are your thoughts so far?
Do you know what? I feel so empowered and motivated. It's been great speaking to all these different women from different industries who are all about the same goal, which is supporting one another. And I think that it's so difficult when it comes to other women, because you sometimes feel that you're in competition, whereas today it's all about embracing being a female leader. So yeah, it's been great.
Collaboration.
Absolutely.
Rather than competition.
Yeah, because I think that when you're, climbing the career path, you have that competition because no one says, actually, no, you're better off working together. So today, I think it's just been one of those where it really it pushes that message across, and hearing all these different stories and how people have overcome different issues and how they've grown and got to where they are, it's amazing.
A lovely safe space, isn't it, to be able to talk?
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely.
So you're a family solicitor.
I am.
And you started out your career working in a company, a big corporate company, and you have decided to step out on your own with your own business. Is that right?
Yes.
So why did you decide to go it alone? Because you're still only pretty young as well.
Well, do you know what? Today, the message that's being conveyed across has been just go for it. And that's what I did. I've worked in law since I was 19 and I'm now 34. And I'd kind of climbed my way up. And I'd gone through overcome so many obstacles and challenges, which I'm very open about anyway, because I think it's important for aspiring lawyers to be aware of. And I think it just got to the point where I thought, do you know what? I'm getting the clients. I'm getting the confidence in terms of the business element and all the rest of it. Why can't I? And if it fails, at least I can say, I've tried. So for me, it was just, okay, if I don't do it now, I never will. And so, yeah, I just kind of took a leap of faith and here we are.
And how's it going?
I wake up every day feeling so grateful. And I think that because you're having to put in so much energy into it when it's your own business, that you don't feel that when you're employed. You kind of feel like you're part of the rat race. Whereas I'm able to come here to events like this. I'm able to go and have coffee with people, and it's still work because it's still building relationships. Whereas I think that when you are employed, especially with a law firm model, it's billable hours as opposed to actually going out there, making real connections. They expect, and I'm not gonna, I think it's just the general expectation is that when you go to a networking event, it's you come away with 3 clients. Well, it doesn't work like that in law. You have to take time to build those relationships with people, especially for them to think, actually, I would trust you to represent me in the divorce.
And it's very personal to you, the reason you went into family law, isn't it? Why did you go into that industry?
So my parents separated when I was younger. And I think as a child, you don't appreciate that it's 2 adults splitting up and how difficult that is. And, it was a difficult time. And thankfully, everyone's happily remarried. My parents, I've got four parents. So I did get the happy ending, but it was difficult at the time because you don't know how to navigate it. There's pieces missing out of the jigsaw puzzle. So as I got older and I was trying to think, right, how can I connect with these adults who are going through adult issues when I've never actually gone through anything like it? And I thought, I was a child. I know what that child is feeling. So if I can help these people collaborate and come together to reach an agreement, then I will do that as long as it's child focused. But then a few years ago, me and my ex separated. So I've been through the long-term separation. And I'm quite open. I don't think many family solicitors are open about their private life, whereas I'm like, hey, I get it. I completely relate to what you're going through. You know, you're complaining that your spouse is a narcissist. I've dated them. I'm very much that kind of person that I get it. I've been through it. And let's work out a strategy and a way we can overcome it to get you through to the better end, shall we say.
Do you think that going through a divorce can ever be amicable?
Yeah. And I do think I've had a few clients recently where I think people are now getting to their 40s and 50s, having been with their spouses for 20, 30 years. And they're like, well, we love each other, we care about each other, but it's just a friendship. And I think that they're very much wanting to preserve that friendship. So having an amicable divorce, it is possible. I think that's when I would encourage the parties to go away and try and decide between themselves, you know, what a suitable financial settlement would look like. Because you can always detect early on where you say to the client, I tell you what, if you've got a great relationship, you want to keep that, go and try and work out an agreement between yourselves or go to mediation. I should be the last resort, because as much as I can try and keep it as positive as possible, I'm armour. I'm there to protect my client's interests. So I think that when lawyers are brought into it, it does make it a bit more difficult to keep it amicable. But if that's what my client wants, I will of course support that.
Are there other clients that you feel, I just can't serve this client for any reason?
Yeah, it's happened a few times. And as a solicitor, there's a protocol we have to follow. And it's happened less than 5, I think it's about 3 or 4 times now. And it's never something that you want to do. It has to have happened over time that you feel that the relationship has broken down. And the difficult thing is with my job is you're not always giving advice to the clients that they want to hear. Sometimes it's actually, you know, that's not correct and they don't want to hear it. And you can't force a client to do anything that they don't want to do. So for me, it's kind of, well, I've told you the advice. This is the law. If you're not happy with that advice, then it's not going to work.
But it's having that confidence, isn't it, to know that and to know who the right clients for you are.
Absolutely. And I think it's just in law in general, and I'm very open about this. I might not be the right solicitor for Peter down the road, but there are other people who feel actually she's the kind of representation that I would want and need. So, and there's enough family lawyers around to be able to say, actually, she's more suited for me or he's more suited for me.
It's like that relationship piece that you were talking about. Those personal relationships are so important, aren't they? So it's kind of having those connections.
Yeah.
So your business is called That Family Solicitor, is that right?
So that's kind of like my social media name.
Yes.
So because I work with a consultancy practice, so I work with them. And they're kind of like my back office. So they do my insurance and everything. And then I have a few other different firms that I work with where they just send me some work. And so I have it's like multiple different businesses, but I just kind of brand myself as That Family Solicitor.
It's really catchy. And you do a lot on social media as well. I've noticed you doing a lot of on TikTok and other social media channels talking about your expertise, which is really interesting. Do you think it's important now to have that social media presence in family law?
Yeah, I never thought I'd be doing this, to be honest, because, you know, it's just one of those things that is so prevalent today, the way that you catch a wide audience, because most people are on social media. And I think, you know, you've got to stay with the times. So some lawyers might, or some firms might say having TikTok is unprofessional, but I'm like, if you want to get the most amount of engagement, then you've got to look at these social media platforms, and they're free. So why would you not? And I find that, you know, educating people on different aspects of family law, or even if my messages, some videos, that I put out there are about my experience working in law. Because if I can help some aspiring lawyers out there, because it is a tricky industry. So there's different messages that I want to convey across to the audience. And sometimes it's a video of me horse riding. It's just me, and that is the brand. And whether the people relate to it or they feel that I can help them in some way, then great.
It's another way of building a connection as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's, I think it's a really good thing to do, especially when you're in an industry where you have a lot of knowledge and you can share that knowledge and people can build that trust with you.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, if you have, how many clients have you got at the moment? Have you got a big portfolio of clients, or are you still building up a fairly small boutique business?
So I've got a few clients, but I don't want to be operating on the basis of having like 20, 30, 40 clients that you would probably need if you were employed. For me, it's very much giving that personal service to clients. So I have probably just under 15, but to me, it's making sure that if my client needs me, and I know that, you know, if you're employed, you don't want to do that because, you know, you should be able to switch off. But because it's my business, I want my clients to feel like they're speaking to their friend. I want them to feel that actually I know I can pick up the phone and Natalie will answer. And if she can't answer then, she'll tell me when she can call back. They all have my mobile number. They all know that they can reach me if I'm on holiday or if I've taken the day off work for whatever. They know that I'll be there because my clients, family law matters don't switch off. It's not one of those things where, okay, clients don't have problems at the weekend. So they need to know that I'm there, and I can't provide the best service if I've got 20, 30, 40 clients. So for me, I'm quite lucky where I like to have a good amount of clients that I can obviously provide the best service to. And then there's other firms that I work with when they just need other advice or different areas and that kind of thing where they need help with.
You've obviously got great self-awareness, so you've worked out what works best for you and what you feel will also serve your clients really well. Yeah. Does it ever, I mean, I know you've got a relationship now, you're very happy with your partner. Did you ever worry that hearing about these relationships breaking down all the time would affect your own attitude to relationships and starting a family and all that?
Yeah, that's such a funny question because I was engaged a few years ago. We're great friends. He's the dad of my dog, as I talk about on social media, and we get on fine. But I think since then, and it's nothing to do with him, I think it's just more, I suppose, the more I do this job, I don't know if I feel that I would need to get married. And my partner knows this, and we talk about it quite often. And I just said, well, I think that it doesn't change anything. A lot of my friends have gotten married, and I'm like, are you more in love? No. What changes? Nothing. So for me, I kind of think, why would you spend so much on a wedding day? Go to a registry office. And a lot of women that I speak to will say, it's because I want the same surname as my children. Well, I'll do a change of name deed for you then. It's much cheaper because what I try and explain to people is you're giving away your rights, the ownership of your property and your assets. And I get that, you know, so many people are like, but yeah, that's how it should be. Fine if that's what you want to do. But I'm seeing more and more prenups coming into the mix. And I think it's great. I think if you're getting married and you've got pensions, you've got savings, let's kind of have an even breakout of what we've got and then what we bring to the marriage, so you can try and ring fence. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here.
It does make sense. It does make sense, the whole prenup thing, especially because marriage was invented at a time when people tended to pass away when they were 40.
Yeah.
People are living a lot longer.
Of course, yeah. And I think, you know, I think it's just one of those things where, you know, if you're, especially as a woman, I'm 34 now and I already have a property. So my partner's in rented and we're about to buy a house together. And I think in those circumstances, people would have a prenup if they were going to get married. And I'm not saying, you know, never, because we're hoping, you know, that we will stay together and things will eventually, potentially progress. There could be children, who knows? But I think it's just one of those things where you've got to be practical. And I mean, there's this attorney, he's called James Sexton, is a divorce attorney in America, and he does a lot of podcasts, and he's very open about his views on marriage. And he's like, love is great, like that is the best thing ever. So why do you think getting married is going to change that? Because you are literally saying, here's my right arm, take it. So, and the statistics are there. They say that, roughly about 50% of marriages end in divorce. That, they're figures. So for me, I'm kind of like, well, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Why would I need to get married to prove that I love him? But a ring would be nice. I'm just saying.
What do you think? Do you think marriage will become more or less popular in the future, or do you think marriage with more legalities in place, like prenups and so on?
Yeah, I'm seeing more people are making, wanting my advice on prenups and cohabitation agreements. I think that, especially people who are buying properties together, regardless of whether they've got, X amount going into the property, I think it's important to kind of set the record and have those conversations to begin with. Yeah. I think we're becoming a lot more litigious, like America. So I think people are, going to get that advice as soon as they can. The problem is, because of the cost of living, people are then having to scrounge every penny they can just to survive. So do I think that marriage will become more? I'm not sure. I think it'll become more of a luxury. I think we'll actually see more people getting married abroad.
Interesting.
So
more elitist, maybe.
Yeah. I think that it's just and I think we're becoming more liberal as a society. So I think people see it as, we can get married, but probably similar to how I think about things. But does it mean anything? Does it mean that we love each other more? So
questioning things.
Yeah.
More. Interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting insights today, Natalie. Thank you so much. Where can people find you? I know you're on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And TikTok,
Instagram, it's That Family Solicitor.
Yes.
So just search that and hopefully I can come up there. And I'm also thatfamilysolicitor.com. So that's my website as well.
Oh, and just one final question as well. What are your hopes for the future, for the next 5 years of your business?
Do you know what? I hope that my clients or the people that I represent are happy with, what I can provide them with. I just want to keep on getting those fantastic outcomes for my clients. I want to stay as authentic as possible. Like, I'm not, it's not in my horizon, or what I want is to become a multimillionaire. For me, I just want to keep doing what I love, which is being a family solicitor, and,
building.
Just keep getting, the best outcome and empowering more women. So many women are feeling trapped in their marriage and their relationships, and the more they're aware of what their options are, legal options are, the better. So, yeah, that's my aim.
Thank you so much, Natalie. It's been brilliant having a chat.
Thank you.
And best of luck for the future.
Thank
Definitely
you.
One to watch.
Thank you so much. Cheers, Nicola.
The Voices of Rise podcast is sponsored and produced by Applehead Media.